What's going on, guys? Luis here with AmeriFi. In this specific video, we are going to be taking a look at M1 Plus, which for those of you guys who don't know or are unaware, M1 Plus is a premium membership for M1 Finance. And if you guys don't know what M1 Finance is, it's essentially an investment platform or brokerage where you are able to automate your entire investment portfolio with stocks or ETFs or anything in between. It's a great platform in my personal opinion, and if you guys are not a part of M1 Finance, I will be leaving a link to M1 Finance down below, where if you create an account and fund your account with my link down below, you will get an additional bonus amount of money. As of now, the current number is $10 added towards your investment portfolio. Who can say no to free money? But with that being said, I don't see this being a very long video, so if you guys tag along, I'll go through every single investment benefit that you will have using M1 Plus here with this membership program. And then at the end, we'll see if this is a program that's going to be right for you, or if just the base program would be better off for you. But with that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into the website and see what kind of benefits they have to offer. All right, so we are here at the website, guys. As you can see right in front of you, this is a premium service. As you can see, of course, it says new members can try M1 Plus for free for 3 months. That is a great trial to have. It used to be a year a while back ago, but they reduced it to 3 months. I think that's honestly the better choice for them, specifically to stay profitable and everything like that, of course. But it's also good for you because even though you don't get a full year, you still have 3 months to try out the product prior to going deeper, and you can cancel at any time. As you can see right here, it is $125 per year, and they do bill on an annual basis, so that's something to keep in mind, of course. So you have to have $125 at the ready at the end of the year to have this service continue forward, or at bare minimum when the trial is done, of course, if you plan to keep it. If not, then you can cancel at any time with no repercussions. It is important to state this before I go forward, though, that not everything on this site is completely updated. There is one portion of this website that hasn't been updated, and I will get to that in a second, but it is updated on another page, which is through my actual login itself, which we will get there here in a second. But for now, let's go through this website because there is a lot of pertinent information. Like, for example, you can do more, right? This has a few things that you're able to do. Of course, we'll get into those on an individual basis here in a second, but you can invest, right? Without M1 Plus, you have 0 trading commissions, but that goes with anything, of course, with M1 Plus or without it, of course, and only AM trade windows. So the way they do it is, instead of being able to access the trade windows at any time, so if you decide to trade at 7 a.m., excuse me, on a day that the market is open, you won't be able to do that because the market will only be able to, for trades through M1 Finance at 6:30 in the morning, or at the time that they're available. For me here in Arizona, it's 6:30 in the morning, so that's, you would have to make those adjustments depending on where you live at. But it's generally at the beginning, right when the stock market opens. That's when the first trading window is. The second one is later in the day. I believe it's like an hour before the stock market closes. So that's something to take into consideration when you're trying to do this, right? So if you have the regular version, you only have the AM trade window. So for me personally here in Arizona, it's at 6:30 in the morning. But if you have M1 Plus, the PM window opens up, which for me here in Arizona is at noon, which works perfectly. This also opens up the availability for custodial accounts, which is a great option to have for people who have children, essentially, right? So if you can have them work, anything really can constitute work for a child, which is cool, and you can get them a head start in investing by directly depositing money into their account, which is, again, a great thing to add on to your account with M1 Plus. So something to take into consideration, of course. I will take a look into the whole legalities behind all this, on what constitutes work and everything on your own, but it's just a good idea to know at bare minimum that they have the ability to have custodial accounts available. Of course, as I said before, 0 trading commission. That goes with any part of M1 Finance. It's kind of their thing, right? They don't take commissions, they get their money from other places, right? And that's they don't pass that on to you, which is great. But one of the cooler ideas in M1 Finance is the fact, or in M1 Plus specifically, is the fact that you have smart transfers, which, for just to keep it simple, essentially what it is, you can tell the computer, their software, if you will, that once your account reaches a certain level, say you have an M1 spend account, once it gets to a certain level, say $100,000, every dollar or every cent that gets accrued over that will transfer over to another account. So the way I have it set up is that I have $100,000 in my spend account, and every single time that it gets more money via interest or more contribution, so if I transfer more money into the account, that money will automatically get transferred into my brokerage account, which is essentially a taxable portfolio. And there's many variations in which you could do this. Of course, it's a great idea to have if you are trying to automate your entire investment portfolio. It's a great idea to have. Now, it's cool to tinker with it a little bit. Again, I have it set up to where my spend account, which is essentially just a checking account, once that reaches $100,000, every dollar that gets over that, it gets automatically transferred to my investment portfolio, which is absolutely fantastic in my opinion. Moving on to Borrow. This is a product that I don't use. I don't really believe in debt personally, of course, unless it's healthy type of debt. This would kind of be considered risky debt, simply because you're putting it against your own portfolio. It's basically a margin account. They call it Borrow, where you can borrow money based off of your investment portfolio. And essentially the main thing that M1 wants is the interest getting paid at minimum. After the interest, you don't really have to pay down your borrowed money, if you will, in an expedited fashion. So you can pay it down as you want or like, essentially. So you do have to have $2,000 minimum, and you can only, it doesn't say right here, but you can only borrow up to 40% of your investment portfolio. Right? There's no applications. It's pretty simple. I haven't tried this myself, and I don't really plan on trying it, but I have tinkered with it a little bit up until the point where it actually gets to actually borrowing against your portfolio, and I kind of back out just so that I can see how it's like. It's a very simple process, and to my understanding is your money is available pretty much instantly, which is absolutely fantastic. And it sees, as I was saying a little bit ago, it says pay at your own pace, which is great. So in terms of the interest rates, if you're not using M1 Plus, then you will be paying whatever borrowed money as of this moment at 6.5%. But if you're an M1 Plus, it's 5%. This is a number that constantly changes depending on the interest rates by the Federal Reserve, of course. If they raise interest rates at the Federal Reserve level, then this number will increase as well, because that's just how it works, right? But right now, even with the Federal Reserve raising interest rates here in 2022, late 2022, of course, this is actually pretty good and is very competitive, very low comparatively speaking to other platforms, of course. So this is a great place to check it out at bare minimum, right? But I have seen this as low as 1%. Last year or something like that, right? So if the Federal Reserve reduces their interest rates, this will also go down as well, giving you the better option. In terms of checking, this is what they call the M1 spend account, right? So as of now, you have a 2.5 APY, 1% cash back on your debit card. So if all you're doing is letting money sit there, it will accrue on a monthly basis, of course, at 2.5%, which is absolutely fantastic because it will just grow as it's sitting there. And 2.5% is a pretty healthy number, in my opinion, especially right now with interest rates being so high. Another thing that it affects is savings accounts, yieldings. As you can see here, it's at 2.5. There is rumored to be 2 more hikes here in 2022, which we could potentially see this getting even higher. So we'll see if that happens or not. I can't predict the future, but as of now, as you can see here, it is accruing at 2.5% APY, which is absolutely fantastic. And if you use their debit card, it's 1% cash back per spend, which is great. Send reoccurring paper checks, which is a little weird in my personal opinion. This is only an M1 Plus thing or whatever. We'll get into some of those benefits here in a second, but a 4 monthly ATM fee, which is, again, there's other options for this where it has unlimited ATM reimbursement, so that's something to take into consideration. But the fact that you get 4 is still good. Without M1 Plus, it's only it's none, actually. I was about to say 1, but I guess it's none. So it's 0 balance minimum period on anything, so that's really good. 0 international fees, which is cool, right? In terms of M1 credit, this is their M1 Owners Rewards credit card, which I personally do have and I do use. I do not carry a balance, and period, it's a $95 fee without M1 Plus, but if you have M1 Plus, this fee is completely removed. So the big thing for me here is this is only worth it if you find value in M1 Plus, because if you don't find value in M1 Plus, then getting the Owner's Rewards card really is not a great option. But if you find value in M1 Plus, then this is just one of those things to tack on to add even more value on top of that, personally, which I do find value in M1 Plus. Therefore, I do pay the annual, fee of $125, and in doing so, since I do have the M1 Plus credit card, it also does waive this annual fee, which is great. Hey guys, Future Luis here. So as I was editing this specific video, M1 decided to release an update to the Owner's Rewards card. Essentially, the annual fee has now been eradicated. That's right, this card is officially an no annual fee card and is now a flat 1.5% cashback card for everyone, period, who holds the card. However, if you are an M1 Plus subscriber, you do get some additional perks and that, or benefits, if you will, which are the tier system that they've had before. So essentially, if you're an M1 Plus subscriber, you now have the 2.5, the 5%, and the 10% cashback rewards awarded to you if you are an M1 Plus subscriber. For everyone else, it's just a flat rate, 1.5%. Of course, needless to say, the M1 Plus subscribers also get access to the everything else category, which is the 1.5. But now this card has been, since it's been updated, I think this is a no-brainer for anybody who wants to invest their rewards directly into their portfolio. However, if you really want to maximize your rewards, you're probably better off with the Fidelity Rewards Visa, Cashback Rewards Visa, or whatever it's called. Great card, but really, if you're an M1 Plus subscriber, it is absolutely still a no-brainer to have the Owner's Rewards card, even more so now that they've made these changes, and I think they're better changes. I think this is the perfect change, if I'm being completely honest. So there's that. The major benefit with the M1 Owner's Reward card, obviously, is the fact that you can earn 1.5 on basically as your catch-all for everything else, but you can go all the way up to 10%. They have it 1.5 for your catch-all, 2.5 if you invest in certain companies, 5% if you invest in certain companies, and of course 10% if you invest in certain companies, right? I have a breakdown on that on my M1 Owner's Rewards card, which I will leave down as a link in the description down below. If you guys are interested, you can look at that video. Nothing has changed as of the filming of this video since I've made that video. So there is that. If that changes at some point, then you're always welcome to check out the website themselves or for yourself and see what companies you can invest in and then redeem some value or cash back from there. I do have a couple of companies that I invest in that give me 10% cash back, so it is very valuable to me to have this credit card, in my personal opinion. And the best thing about this is that you can claim your redemption rewards directly into your investment portfolio, which is absolutely fantastic. And of course, it is a Visa signature, so you get those benefits on top of that. All right, so I'm gonna kind of go down this list that they have in terms of benefits, and we will see what I use and what I don't use, right? Smart transfers definitely is something that I use, as I explained before. If you can set up parameters or barriers in which you would like to have money in where, right? So the way I have it personally set up is that all of my money goes into my M1 spend account, which I have capped out at a maximum of $100,000. Every dollar that is in excess of $100,000 gets directly transferred into or automatically transferred into my brokerage taxable portfolio, which in turn gets to grow even more, of course. As of now, I've never used the M1 borrow personally, because I don't really believe in debt or anything like that. I don't really see a need to do this, if I'm being completely honest. But this is there for those of you guys who would like to know that it's there. It's basically just a margin account, as I said before. And if you hover over the I, it says borrowing involves additional risk, which I've stated before, including losing more than deposited. Rates may vary. Customers with 2,000 plus marginable securities are eligible for M1 borrow. Not available for retirement accounts, custodial accounts, and trust accounts. Newly eligible accounts may need to wait up to one full business day before being able to sign up. So that's kind of like a little bit of additional information, what you can invest in, or what you can borrow from, or not. So basically it's just a few options, of course, like your taxable portfolio as an example. But the best part, in my personal opinion, is this right here, the 2.5% APY on your checking account or your M1 spend account. This is absolutely fantastic because it allows you to accrue interest on your money for it just sitting there, which again, anytime your money gets to work for you is always a great idea, whether or not you want to just leave it there sitting, or if you want to invest it. Of course, something that you can do as an idea is have your emergency fund just sitting here in your M1 spend account. That way you have easy access to the account, because they do give you a debit card as well that again gives you 1% back for every time you use the card. So if you need to use that money, you're always able to use it at any time. But if you're not using it, it's accruing interest, right? So on top of that, you can also use the smart transfers, and that way you're not going over the money that is just sitting there for your emergency fund, and it's actually going back to work for you. So it's not only accruing interest, but all that excess money is getting into your investment portfolio, which kind of allows it to work together, which is absolutely fantastic in my personal opinion. Custodial accounts, great option for you to get your children, for example, started on investments earlier and get that mentality started ahead of time. That way when they grow up and they are able to start doing this stuff on their own, they are automatically put on the right track. So this is a great option for parents in particular, something that I do see value in personally. So the M1 Visa, of course, this is the debit card. As I said before, it does give you 1% cash back on eligible purchases. Of course, if you hover over the I, cash back on qualifying purchases. Debit card purchases are when the card is swiped for or the 16-digit number card is entered online. Any transfer of funds, including those facilitated via a card transaction, are not eligible for cashbacks. Something to take into consideration. Of course, there is going to be limitations to everything that you do, even in other locations. So something to just take into consideration. Reimbursed spend checking fees will cover up to 4 monthly ATM fees and all international fees. So that's good to know that there is no international fees associated to this account, but it is kind of it kind of does suck that it's only 4 monthly ATM fees, but realistically, how many times do you use an ATM anyways? So the fact of the matter is, although you don't use it a lot, there could be situations in which you might need to take out money or cash more than 4 times. And if that's the case, one of those or anything over 4 times is going to be charged directly to you. But if it's just up to 4, if you have an M1 Plus account, that is going to be covered here. So again, if ATM withdrawals is a big thing for you, then you're probably better off elsewhere. But you have to think about it like this, right? It's the all of the benefits put into one that you have to consider. So there's that. Of course, AM and PM trade windows, as I said before, there's one at the very opening of the market, and then there's one about an hour prior to the closing of the market. So for me, it's 6:30 in the morning and at noon. Plus members can choose one or both trade windows for each brokerage account, 25,000 or more in it. When less than 25,000, members can choose a window. This complies with pattern day trading regulations. Crypto accounts will trade in both windows regardless of balance. So that kind of spoils it a little bit on what is a big thing here, but we'll just jump into that right now. So they just added a brand new feature to M1 Finance, which is M1 Crypto. And alongside having a new product through M1 Finance, which is M1 Crypto, of course, they also added an additional benefit for those people who are M1 Plus subscribers, which is no surprise. They like to take advantage of giving more benefits to M1 Plus subscribers, right? And as you can see here, on-demand trade windows for crypto. Launch an on-demand trade window for crypto up to 10 times a month. You can trade 24/7. So if you guys know a little bit of crypto information, essentially you can trade at any time. The markets don't close, so you can literally trade at any point of the day, holidays, etc., 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 right? There is no limitations. However, M1 Finance does limit the trading that you can do, so that you can restrict yourself from making bad decisions, of course. If you guys don't know, the people who potentially do a lot more trades are more susceptible to more risk in losing money. Therefore, M1's philosophy is invest for the long run, so limiting your trading capabilities to a certain time. For the investment side, of course, is only 2 times per day, which is the AM trade window and the PM trade window. For crypto specifically, it is up to 10 times per month. However, you can trade at any point. But there is a caveat to that. If you don't use the on-demand feature, you will still be able to take advantage of the 2 trade windows that M1 Finance does provide for you, which again is in the morning and in the afternoon, of course. Which, if that's the way you want to trade, great. It'll make the automation side of things a lot easier for you. But if you don't and you want to trade right then and there, you could do that as well. Last but not least is the spend check. This essentially allows you to send a physical check to someone without ever, having to sign it yourself. This is an old school method of doing things, not really that usable anymore. However, I do have to say that there isn't circumstances where this might be able to be useful. Personally, I don't use it, never have used it, don't intend to use it, because my main banking solution is actually USAA. Therefore, I don't have to use this product, because they also send checks if you want as well. But so a lot of people out there don't see value in this. I do. If this is the system that you're using as your main banking solution, this is very important to have if you're going to be paying bills, right? Perfect example is my mortgage, for example, doesn't allow me to pay with a card, only actual direct deposit type stuff. So if you want to automate your payments through them, they'll be able to withdraw that money directly from your bank account. Or alternatively, you can send them a check, which is what I personally do. That way I know exactly where my money is going at all times, right? So because of that, sending a check to pay a bill, for example, might come in handy, if I'm being completely honest. Now, I don't know, to be honest, I've never actually used this feature, but through M1 Plus. But if that's an option that you can do, then of course this is a great thing to have, allowing you to pay off bills a lot easier, so definitely something to take into consideration. But personally, I don't really see a lot of value in this personally, but to each their own. So there you guys have it. Those are all the benefits for M1 Plus. Again, if this is something that you guys are interested in, you do qualify for up to 3 months of free M1 Plus if you're brand new to the program, of course. If not, then you will be able to pay from an annual basis $125 a month. If you see value in any of the programs or benefits that we have spoken about here in this video, then try it out and see for yourself. If you don't like it, you can cancel at any time and you'll be just fine. But if you do see value, again, definitely take advantage of those 3 months available to you. If you don't have an M1 Finance account and you would like to create one and start your investment journey, I will have a link down below in the description down below for a referral link, where if you sign up and fund your account, you will receive an additional $10 as of today. It could go up in the future, but as of today, you'll get a free $10 added towards your portfolio, allowing you to essentially start with that little extra boost to your investment portfolio. But if you enjoyed this video, guys, do me a huge favor, drop a like on this video. Also subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, because it really does help this channel grow. With that being said, catch you guys in the next one. Deuces.